really super fun, and the best part is family, having everybody here together. So we have cousins, we have the 3 aunts and 3 sisters of my mom. So we have all 4 Gonzalez sisters.
It takes me back to, Corpus Christi and sitting at my grandmother's house on Lexington Avenue.
My father, who's from Buffalo, New York, wanted to know how to make tamales. He came from Alpine, and we came from Austin down to Corpus, and went to Grandma Jane's house and spent 3 days making tamales in her unair-conditioned kitchen. But he has a much deeper appreciation for tamales now than he ever did.
It's all about being with your family, and it's the first time I've come, so I kind of felt like the kid with the golden ticket and the Windy Wonka's chocolate factory, where I got to go to the factory and enjoy the day.
But Mom and Liz and have been working lots of days preparing the chiles and peeling them and boiling them, and there's a lot of steps, so it's multiple days, and the hands and the helpers come together on the day that they're made, but there's so much preparation that happens in advance. I'm happy to have my daughter, another generation experience it, and I hope it's a tradition that can continue. When you share with people that you're going home or to your sister or to family members to make tamales, everybody's a little bit envious. They're like, really? They want to know more. Like, what is that? So it's very special because not everybody does this.
I'm from the Netherlands, but I've been part of the family for 30 years. And the Tamalada is really fun. It's like a great time it's a great family tradition of making tamales, and it's something you do around Christmas.
What's the direction that you're given when you sit down?
Just to spread the masa on the hojas, like the right consistency. You just know it when it's right, I guess. Like hold it up to the sunlight to see if it's see-through, and if it's still see-through, that's when you know. This was probably the first time I did the actual filling of the pork and the raisins and stuff.
There was an art to how you did them, and there was a supervisor that supervised you to make sure you were doing them right. Tamale Day was December the 22nd, to have them ready for the 24th, to have tamales and chocolate after we went to midnight mass. The best stories that I remember about being around the table making tamales is my father walking in and saying, quit gossiping and talking while you're making tamales because you're spitting on the masa. And the other thing that I remember so fondly when my mother was in her last breath saying, do not forget to make tamales every year.
Mother was the person that was in charge of making tamales at the time, and the family would find out that was the day she was making the tamales, and they'd come over, just visit and play, and then the adults were talking the whole day just like we're doing now. It's a very, very special gift. I'll get my share and I'll distribute it to people that I love, and then I'll give them to my son. He's going to take some to Alpine, Texas, to his father, my ex-husband, who still remembers the tamales and still waits for them every time we make them. I just really do like the beef tamales.
The recipe is a family recipe that we have used for generations. The best tamales we ever made were from venison and sometimes javelina, because we use half pork and half beef for the filling. And when the men would go out hunting and bring back the deer and the javelinas, already dressed, thank goodness, my mother would make the stuffing that we call it chili for the tamales out of that, and they were really delicious tamales.
Well, I love the tradition part, because I think of my ancestors. The whole family gathered around, everybody took home tamales, and we're still doing that today. It's such a pleasure, it's just wonderful. It's just handing part of myself. I hand them a bag of tamales, and it's from my heart and the heart of generations back.
When did you start making tamales?
Well, I didn't start making tamales. I started helping my mother make tamales. I started helping like cleaning the hojas and doing all the prep stuff. But actual making the tamales, you had to kind of earn your stars to get to do that. Like, you know, mix the masa or make the picadillo. That sometimes we'd go to bed and then in the morning the picadillo would appear. My mother would make it at night. It was like a secret or something. Because she would show up, this wonderful picadillo would show up in the morning.
Now, I understand that you've, over the years, have assumed the supervisory role of the process. How did that happen? And
Only because no one else was doing it. I don't know who else. Griselda wasn't standing up and taking over, or, you know, Adela was, she's really a supervisor. She's been the boss of me all my life. So, I mean, she is very good. And we share information and so forth. So. Well, Grandma Jane learned from her family that lived on a ranch. She lived on a ranch. She grew up on a ranch.
Now we're digging in.
In Zapata and San Ignacio and out in the woods in the country. She lived in the country.
Because those people worked at ranches.
They worked on the ranches. So that's where they learned. And so it's been in our family. My grandmother made tamales. I'm sure their families made tamales.
what does the finished tamale represent, and what does it mean to you?
It means, well, my mom made those tamales with a lot of love. So it means love to me. She would give them as gifts. And it was a work of love.
If you ever get a chance to join a family and be part of them and do especially an activity like the Tamalada that we just had and are having today, it will be in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit forever.
I came here for the Tamale sisters.